roll. Right. What's going on, world? It's Wild Tuna with the Philadelphia Podcast. We lit, but we got to shout out to our sponsors real quick. Hip Hop since 1987, Digital Crate Studios, Fresh Elite, Kings Road, and Fresh Like God Clothing. Today, the day after Women's Appreciation Day, we here with the wonderful. She's going to introduce herself. Watch this.
Go get her, Jay. Hey, y'all.
She lit. I'm happy she here. She's doing a lot of good things in the community. We're going to get your social media. You on Facebook? You on
Facebook,
Instagram,
Twitter, LinkedIn,
Tell them all
YouTube.
All your info.
Everything is at Go Getter J. GOGETTERJEA. All my social media. Again, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn,
right.
YouTube. All Go Getter J.
Right. Oh, that's love. So you run all your social media?
I do.
Yeah,
that's all me. That's real work. 18 hours.
She know. All right, so let's start out like this. Where'd you get the name from? Go Getter. Where'd you get that? What's the nickname?
That was self-proclaimed actually. So the name Go Getter is self-proclaimed. I used to have a production company called Never Enough Productions, and when I was getting out of the music thing, I was transitioning and just thought about all the characteristics that I possess myself, and literally I went to Webster and was like, oh, boom, there we go Getter.
Right.
And a friend of mine, Goldie, but he goes by Naeem now because he do all the Herbalife stuff, he used to call me J-Dub. And when I started going by Go Getter, he actually just put it together to Go Getter J, and it's like we've been going by that ever since.
That's lit. I like that.
And shout out to him. I ain't talked to him in a minute.
So you said you was in production. What you sing? You rap? What you do?
Yeah.
What you do?
So I write and sing. I did vocal lessons. Yeah. It was a past life to Go Getter J.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we in the studio, so we might get a feature today. We might get on the hook. Gonna see what's up.
Okay.
We might have a new theme song for your company today.
Listen, you know? I'm looking for a theme song.
Okay. So you came to the right place. So yeah, let's get a little background on you. Tell everybody where you from, how you got started, what inspired you. Talk to us.
Okay, so I'm from Philadelphia. You know, I'm Philadelphia native, born and raised, and really what got me started was I've always been an advocate. I mean, like in the words of my mom, she was like, you've been this way since you were 2, like ever since I could talk. So I've always been an advocate for people without voices or people who decided not to use their voice or didn't have the bravery to use their voice. So a lot of what Go Getter is encouraging others to live brave, because like life is too short to not live free. So a lot of what we do, no matter what it is, whether it's an event, whether it's the t-shirts, it's all encouraging people to live brave. It's just inspiration and motivation for you to be the best you that you can be. So that sums it up.
Okay. So you said that's your motivation to help people out who don't speak for themselves, who can't speak for themselves or want to. That's actually really dope. The last few lady we had here was doing the same thing in a different way. So tell us how you doing it. Tell us about your company, what you actually do, what you're working on currently to help out in the community.
Okay, so for the community activities, particularly, we do Feeding Families. Shout out to the Andrew Hamilton School in the School District of Philadelphia for housing us. So we do Feeding Families because it's a program that feeds children hot meals, because as you guys all should know, it's not easy to learn hungry. You know what I mean? Our children are dealing with a lot. So we try to just do as much as possible as we can for the kids. So I do that with the Andrew Hamilton School. I cook it myself. We basically just get in there, cater it, and it's fun. We have a date coming up with them. Actually, we're going to feed the day before the PSSAs. Because, again, it's not easy to learn hungry. Well, it's not easy to test hungry either. So we're doing a big feast before the PSSA. And so that's coming up. We do that quarterly with them, trying to do it more often, trying to get into more schools, because honestly my goal is, like, if I could offer that monthly, I would. But, schools have a lot of responsibilities, so they don't have a lot of dates, so if I can just get with some more schools for that. We're doing something else for the kids. The Abu Sweet Tooth Candy Carnival is for all the children in the city. It's at 817 North 7th Street. It's April 13th. It's a celebratory event for honor roll kids, students with perfect attendance. Any child could come, but for the children with perfect attendance and children with honor roll, they get to come for free.
Okay.
all the children are $2, so it's not much, but it's still an incentive thing just to kind of get children a day, give them a day of fun, let them just come out, because again, as you guys know, we're like dealing with a lot in our city, so I feel like the children don't get a lot of time where they could just kind of go and have some fun.
Right.
That's not costly.
Right.
Killing the parents' pockets.
Right. I dig that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because we want to be a part of that. We want to sponsor and throw some money up to help some kids who don't even got the $2.
Okay.
Get some kids in there for free just
we
to come in there,
appreciate that.
you know what I'm saying, get some stuff done. So definitely want to be a part of that.
Okay,
but
dope.
you talking about you cooking.
Yes.
You got the shirt, you ain't bring me no shirt, you ain't bring me no plate. We hungry in here.
I got y'all. It's coming.
Oh, man. Okay, so next
I've been
event,
running this morning. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Your next event, what's your next event?
My next event is the Building Bridges Networking Experience. We do it each and every month. It's at Cafe Breezes. Shout out to them for housing us for that. It's going to be March 17th from 12 to 4, which is actually next Sunday. That's the immediate next event. Thereafter, we have the March 24th is another Sunday, again at Cafe Breezes. And it's from Passion to Profit. It's the Passion to Profit luncheon, our Passion to Profit luncheon. So we're doing, again, anybody with an idea, anybody with a hobby, anybody who's like, I'm good at this, I could do this, or I want to do this, or I want to try this, just trying to teach you how to turn that into profit. TV, games, anything that you have, like literally your phone that's in your hand, don't just have it in your hand, but let us show you how to make some money with that phone. Right. So it's like whether you have a business and you want to create more revenue under that entity, and or if you don't have a business and you just want to try to figure out how to do something. Right. You want to, just figure it out. Like this is a good event to be at. It's a small investment, but it's definitely I think noteworthy for anybody who wants to get into business, or people who are in business. They have questions about, did I do the right paperwork? Right. Do I need to be trademarked? Do I need to be this? Right. This is an event where you want to come to. Okay. We have dope speakers, so let me just shout them out. We have DJ Swift from BSB. Okay. Thank you. We have formerly known as Miss People. Her name is Chef Blue now. She will be there. Chef Blue of Hidden Pieces. We have Cookie Jar by Lex. Alexis will be there. There's LaQuana Holloway from the Array of Promises, and then Abdul Kareem from Abu Sweet Tooth Candy Nova Shop. So okay. Shout out to them.
Y'all gonna be lit. I'm trying to show up. We gonna be lit. Can we come?
Yeah, y'all can come. I hope y'all don't say y'all gonna come and don't come now, because there's gonna be food there.
That's what we gonna. No, I'm saying that's not how we do that. But yeah, text us the dates. We're gonna be there. We're gonna show up. Definitely, it's gonna be a couple of us who can make it. Okay. I know for sure. I'm gonna do my best to make sure I'm there. Okay. Show support. Because all we doing is networking, building, and trying to help out. Like that's what we're here for.
That's right.
And you helping entrepreneurs, people trying to build up. So tell us about like some big struggles that you run into a lot with, just common struggles of being an entrepreneur starting off. Help people out with.
Yeah, definitely. I always talk about how, it's important to turn your trials and tribulations into triumph and testimony. I deal with a lot. My fan base know I don't really talk about it a lot because I don't like to get too personal. But most recently, I'll say this. So it's always life. You know what I mean? Right. I don't care if it's car, if it's the house, if it's the kids, if it's the schedule, whatever it is. I battled with I had a battle with diabetes for 18 months. I didn't know anything about it. I woke up one day, I was blind. I literally could not see out of my eyes. I was like, what is going on? I knew nothing about diabetes. I don't have a history of it in my family, so there's no reason for me to know about it, right? But I had diabetes, and I had type 2 diabetes. I woke up and I went to the doctors. I did everything I had to do. Medication was able to reverse the temporary blindness, because it was a temporary blindness, and glasses thereafter, but it was just a lot of work. But I reversed diabetes, so I did my last test yesterday for the A1C. Shout out to that. And I feel like that was definitely probably the hardest thing I've done, because for me, having children, it was scary. Right. It was like I woke up and I couldn't see my kids. My son had to use my phone to call my mom, like, call your grandma, because I can't, like, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, hold up, what is this? So some trials and tribulations don't scare us as much, But that one definitely took me out of my comfort zone, which made me to want to continue to be uncomfortable. Now I put myself in positions almost every day where I'm uncomfortable, so I never have to be in that position again.
Right. That's major. That's major.
Yep.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
May you stay healthy forever and ever.
Yes.
I'm
We ain't going back to that.
For me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you got the food popping. I saw the flyer. So yeah, definitely congratulations for that.
Thank
so
you.
another thing you were saying, you like before we got on air, you were saying in the community we don't pass along business and we don't pass along
Not enough.
advice and show people below, above, around us at all.
Yeah.
The way to go once you find a way. You want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really feel like, there's a lot of information we don't have it. I'll give just a couple examples. They're giving out, they were giving out shelter to like the homeless when the weather was below a certain, degree and cold severity and stuff like that. But I feel like, the homeless don't have phones. You're sending me a text.
Right.
I'm getting a text message. Thanks for the city of Philadelphia. Shout out to y'all.
Right.
But it's like the people who need that information aren't getting that text message. They don't have phones.
Right.
So it's just like we have to be a little bit more innovative when it comes to attending our events in our city, whether it's with the state reps, so that we can vocalize what's needed and how we can better get information to the people that's needed.
Right.
So when I got that information, I was like, okay, what can we do? So I went to one of the city offices, printed the black and white copies, and was like shuffling them out with my regular flyers to people who could use this information.
Right.
But it's like, I know it's costly, but the city doesn't really have or make a way for people to get that good information.
Right.
Or they're giving out, grants for businesses. Well, do the business owners know that? Do the people who have ideas to start businesses know that? And how do they get to that information? Like, it's just, I know how hard it was for me getting all the right information, getting to the right trademark, getting to the right, place to get all my paperwork for my business. And it's difficult. So I really am working as vigorously as possible. And I want other people to do the same thing. I mean, I can't force it upon nobody. But
Right.
if you have information, it's like this city, we hold so much. And it's like, just, I feel like give it up, because either way they're going to figure it out eventually.
Right.
But if they don't have to take that path to take longer and we have it, let's give it. But go get her, Jay. Y'all already know. Y'all can text, call, DM me. I'm giving y'all the information. If I got it, y'all got it. So
Right.
that's all I can say.
All right, that's love. That's love. Appreciate that for sure. I might hire you. Help you get some of my businesses popping. I got a lot of ideas.
Okay, listen, let's.
No, real rap though. I appreciate that because a lot of people really don't share the information that we need.
Yeah.
So we end up doing 100 billion things and throwing our money around everywhere we think we're supposed to.
Just spinning.
And
Yeah.
by the time we 55, 60, we like, damn, I should have did this.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like,
True
you should already
facts.
do that. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate that. So other than that, what's any other major things that's going on that you want to speak about? In your trials, because you're going out here risking your life in these streets. What you're doing for real. You know what I mean? Like me and my guy Styles, he do the production from here, artist
Okay.
too. We took a trip and when it was real cool, and we just handing out clothes. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
But we handed
Yeah.
out clothes. And we about to get robbed by the homeless pool, right?
Oh
we
my
man, I know
gosh,
you trying to do
what?
good out here. You
And you about to get got all the time.
So
all the
you out here
time.
risking your life and doing this. So what's other than why you're motivated to do so? What other things you want to touch on while you can?
Okay. So I guess I would say that there's always something going on. You guys can always look at the Instagram, social media to figure out what's going on. But in general, just it's so much to hit on. It's just like the children. I'll just start with the youth. Like I always say, our youth is our proof. Like if you want to know what's going on in your city, if you want to know whether or not the representatives, the judges, the councilmen, the mayor, if you want to know if these people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, look at the representation. Because the youth is the representation of what's happening, because they're most affected by a lot of things, whether it's the education or the food systems or whatever is going on. So I feel like the youth is the proof. If you really want to know what's going on in the city, whether or not a city is thriving, if they're putting the money into the right things, is in the youth. And I feel like this current time, they're not. So I'm actually working with the Andrew Hamilton School. Shout out to Principal Smith and Vice Principal Mr. Uthman. but we're working on a 8-week program where we can, really just educate our youth, K to 8, giving them information on anything like hygiene, anti-bullying. There's so much going on. It's just really difficult to kind of touch on every little thing, but if we can like get something in, it's a youth mentorship program. So actually I'm going to be utilizing my fellow people who do events with me, my fellow entrepreneurs, to come into this school and to work with these children as best as possible to give them a little bit more information, especially, so they can see people who look like them doing something positive, like, oh, this is possible. Because I feel like when you're inspired, when I was inspired by somebody who looked like me. I was like, oh, okay, first of all, she cared. Oh, and secondly, she knows something. Like, okay, I could do this. You know what I mean? And, my parents were great parents. It's just that they're parents. A lot of times they don't get, the opportunity, because we're working and stuff like that, to really cultivate the way we want to.
Right.
So I got it from someone outside of the house, but it was just the fact that I got it. Right. A lot of our kids in the city are not getting it. So we have a lot going on with the Andrew Hamilton School. Again, I'm always looking for other schools to work with. And in addition to that, there's always events going on, helping entrepreneurs. We just have a lot of events coming up.
Yeah, well,
I'm not sure if I can just...
No, keep us posted, let us know what's going on. Stay active on social media so we know.
Definitely.
Tag us so we can repost.
We're
going to definitely do that for you. We got a lot of events that we want to keep, you in touch with. You do a lot of things with the youth.
Yep.
Us as a podcast and broadcast network, we can promote that for you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever we can do, let's work out as a team.
Yeah.
We're in Philly. We got to stick together, so let's do it.
That's
I
right.
need some tips on my business, so like.
Let's work.
You got me, so you want me to come up, let's do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Philadelphia Podcast, man, we gonna hold it down. We're gonna run her social media one more time. Do you have a website or anything you wanna shout out?
I do have a well, again, everything is Go Getter J, GOGETTER on all social media platforms. And then if you want to shop, it's gogetter.bigcartel.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna log in. Let's get it. Philadelphia Podcast. Shout out our sponsors one more time. Philadelphia Podcast. It's everywhere. It's Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. We everywhere. Just Google us if y'all want. Hip Hop since 1987. Digital Crate Studios. Fresh Like God Clothing. Everybody on the production team in the building. Mike Styles, Big Ken, DJ TM, Chris Mack, my man Tone in the building, Benji on the can. Stay tuned. Women's Appreciation Day was yesterday. We still appreciate y'all today. Go get us in the building. Say one more time. Want to give me more shout outs? Anybody want to give a shout out to? Say hello to?
Okay, so I'll just give a shout out to everybody who supports Go Getter, who've been supporting me since 2009, and people who supported me before then with Never Enough Productions. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to my support team. It's a big support team. There's so many of them, but everybody is loved and everybody is appreciated, and we'll leave it at that.
Right. I'm trying to get a team like that. I can shout out my homies out. Everybody's a small list. I need a big team. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a big team. Trust me.
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get the food. We're gonna get the events popping. We definitely gonna repost everything on Instagram so y'all know where to be at and where to support. Let's get it.
All right.